How many times have you been asked what to do in Vegas? When your family and friends are in town, they expect you to be the expert both on and off the strip. And we know it's a daunting question to have to tackle, but don't worry, your homies here at CityCast have you covered. Today our team is here to help you out with a little cheat sheet for when the friends and fam come to town. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, we tackle the tourist trap they can't miss, the one restaurant you have to visit, and we give you our insider tips on the off-the-beaten-path spots they have to check out. It's Thursday, May 28th. I'm Jesse Merrick, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. All right, today's going to be a fun one. We got a team chat. The whole crew is here. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, all in the same room at the same time, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, excited for this one.
I want to give a shout out to Emily Mack from CityCast Chicago, because she was the one who actually inspired this episode because she reached out to us. She was visiting Vegas and wanted to have a few picks on what to do. So why not share it with everybody? I think that's the idea here, right?
Heck yeah, shout out to Emily for the inspo on this one. And I think, look, if anybody can do it, I think we can do it. This is a really tapped in group. So we'll get this rolling right off the top. We know Vegas is full of tourist traps. Some are great, some not so much. What are your guys' picks for the tourist traps that you have to check out? The ones that are really worth the hype?
I'm going to go first here. And I think this one might be the most obvious, which is the Sphere. And as a local, I was so against it, like this huge ball landing on the strip and ruining our skyline. You can even listen back to past episodes before it opened that we were all kind of lamenting it. But once I went to go see the movie Postcard from or To Earth, I always get the name wrong.
Postcard from Earth.
Postcard from Earth. There you go. Once I saw the movie, I was changed. And it was such a cool experience. I get motion sickness. I get a little scared of heights. So I was really nervous going into those seats, wondering how it's going to feel. But once the show starts, it's so immersive that you almost forget how high you are or what kind of incline you're on. And so I think everyone should go check out a show at the Sphere, or at least go close up and see the screens.
I got to jump in here because, Layla, that was mine as well, and I second that. Like, I was a little skeptical about it. The first thing I ever saw at the Sphere was the UFC fight that they held there, and that was by far the craziest thing I ever covered in my life.
Wow.
After leaving there, I had to go stare at a wall just to, like, decompress.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, system overload. I went with my mom and my girlfriend to go see The Wizard of Oz there, and it was just insane. So it's one of those things where, like, I really do think it is worth the hype. You can't pass that one up.
You know, it's funny you guys both mentioned the Sphere because I had a friend of a friend reach out to me with a recommendation, not Emily from Chicago, but a friend of my dad's actually. And they specifically asked about shows. And I was talking about Cirque and maybe a few other things. And we were going over prices. And I think they were asking about some residency. I don't remember. But this was shortly after Wizard of Oz opened at the Sphere. And I was kind of like, you know what? I think they should do Wizard of Oz. And I kind of revised my pick because everyone's curious about the Sphere. They want to know what it's like. And I think that's really at the top of everyone's list. When they come to Vegas, they want to check it out. And we keep talking about how Wizard of Oz is pricey, you know, $120 for a movie, but it's a lot cheaper than seeing No Doubt or Metallica. So if you want to get a taste of what the Sphere is about, I hate to say it's an affordable option, but it's a less expensive option, and you really do get a unique taste of Vegas.
Okay.
Well, here, I'll give you a free option. The Bellagio fountains. Do you want the majesty of water in your face? I mean, it sounds stupid because it's just a big fountain at the end of the day. But it's honestly just kind of cool. It's just kind of cool to see these giant water jets. And here's a quick bonus pick, super quick. The New York roller coaster. And I have to caveat this. Ooh. It's a bad roller coaster.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's not good. I'm not a roller coaster guy, so hard pass for me.
Your head will be knocking against the handlebars.
At least it's open, unlike the one in Prim.
Yeah,
true.
It's still here.
Yeah, the real problem with the New York roller coaster is trying to kill you at all times, which is not great. But the thing is, it's on the Strip. You just can't do it anywhere else. I think that goes for the Sphere too. Literally, it doesn't exist anywhere else. So if you're in Vegas, if you're an adrenaline junkie, why not? Just prepare your spine.
And I'm going to back up Jacob with the Bellagio fountains. It's free, so you can't get hosed. It never gets old. And walking by it, especially if you're right on the sidewalk there, especially at night or dusk, it's really one of those only in Vegas things. And then you can walk inside and walk through the conservatory, which is another free thing. 2 times in Vegas that you're not getting hosed. How often can you say that?
Yeah, so true. And I will third what your guys are saying there about the fountain. No matter how many times I've seen it, if I'm near the Bellagio, I look at my watch. I'm like, okay, when is it going to happen? Like, I always got to watch it. So it is one of those things that is totally worth the hype. Rob, what is your recommendation for the tourist trap that everybody's got to find?
All right. I once infamously knocked Fremont Street for being a little too Jersey Shore-esque on this
Some people love
podcast
that.
in the past. I have some reservations about it, but I got to admit, if you're in Vegas for the first time, just walking the Fremont Street experience is one of those things you have to do. It's those iconic neon lights. It's the casinos. You know, you just got to get those vibes. We're a little numb to it because we've been living in Las Vegas for a while, but you have to cross that off the list. And if you're just going down there to check it out and not get hosed by some of those crazy prices, I say go for it. And you know what? One of my favorite places actually is on the Fremont Street Experience, the Legacy Club. You can't go wrong with the view. So go up there. You'll see views of not only downtown, but the Strip. And you're only paying for the cost of a cocktail, even if you want to buy a cocktail. And they've got fire pits outside, a nice patio. You can't go wrong with the view in Vegas. And I think the Legacy Club covers all the angles. That's my pick.
Yeah.
And then you can cool off with the zip line when you're done.
There you go.
I don't know if I recommend the zip line, but the Legacy Club.
Great people watching
Jacob,
down
the
there.
thrill seeker over here. Yeah, Rob, shrewd pick, though. I love that one. So now let's keep it rolling, all right, guys? And let's dive into where people got to eat here. Layla, you kicked this off, so why not get it rolling again?
Okay, well, this one is going to obviously be a local business. And my pick is Mariposa Cucina and Cocktails. I
Okay.
think that's the after part of the name. But Mariposa is a locally owned business. They have one of the best boozy brunches in Las Vegas, which I think is a staple. If you do drink, you have to do a good boozy brunch where you're going to walk out and call an Uber and continue the day. So Mariposa is my pick. They have Oxtail Thursdays,
What?
which I recommend. Yeah. Their menu is insane. Their menu is kind of like soul food. So you can't go wrong with anything, but I recommend the oxtails. I recommend the boozy brunch. That's Mariposa on Decatur. And you're not going to be disappointed. They have live events. They have live music. They have a great DJ almost every day. So that's my pick.
And you're dragging your tourist buddy off the Strip,
There you
too.
go.
So
Love
that's
it.
another plus.
Yeah, I had to. When I was thinking about this, I'm like, where am I sending them? It's, you're going to get the Peppermill. You're going to get those recommendations are always going to be there. If you ask anybody, you can ask the Parachute Journalist. They're going to say Peppermill or one of the other many great restaurants on the Strip. So I'm pulling someone off the Strip, great local boozy brunch for a great price, too.
You had me at Oxtail Thursdays. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat that one,
Yeah.
but Rob, you're the food guy, so go ahead and follow it up. See if you can top that.
Well, I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. I'm not going to pick one restaurant. I'm going to pick the Lip Smacking Foodie Tours.
Okay.
Now, these are organized food crawls that get the whole concept right. I mean, you can sign up for food crawls on the Strip, Chinatown, Arts District, Fremont East. I always tell people when they're in town for a night and they got to pick one place to eat, I'm like, go with Lip Smacking Foodie Tours. They just know how to do this. You don't have to wait in line when you're there. You don't have to worry about reservations. Even the tip is included. You can add on drink pairings. So those are included. So you even have to worry about price. It's all done in advance. You don't have to wait for a seat. And you're actually getting what the restaurants are known for. You're getting the signature dishes. You're getting the good stuff. Now, I've gone on food crawls and food tours with other companies, and sometimes they kind of cheat a little bit. They you're walking past like a retail shop and they give you, here's a free sample of a piece of chocolate or something. And you're like, all right, whatever. But no, this is a good way to get like real food, a great value. And the tour guides are so knowledgeable. They throw in a little bit of Vegas history here and there. And also they know when to just kind of keep it quiet and let you walk. And it's a great way to get used to maybe a neighborhood like Chinatown, or just get used to the Strip. You're walking around outside, in and out of restaurants. It's such a cool experience, and I cannot recommend them enough.
Full foodie experience. That's awesome. Shrewd pick there, Rob. Jacob, two really tough ones to follow up. What you got for us?
Yes, because while Rob gives a real answer, I will give a fake answer and say that you have to
Bring it
go
on.
to one of the remaining buffets on the Las Vegas Strip.
Ooh,
because
yeah.
you have to understand, this is a dying animal.
Dying for a reason.
Well. I'll say
Noted
go to
buffet hater Layla.
go to Caesars or go to Wynn. I like, go to an upscale one because look, is it going to run you like almost $100? Yeah. But you're on the Strip. You kind of knew that was going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have the buffet experience, you may as well do it in one of these super mega turbo buffets where, frankly, the food is excellent. You're not going to run into the problem with a lot of buffets where because there's so much food and because they're not turning it over, it's kind of gross and has been sitting out. It's the Strip. There's like the one place you can go to a buffet and that's not going to happen to you. So like, look, just do yourself a favor. They're going to be gone in less than 5 years. Mark my words. So you may as well get it now while you can.
Yeah.
And people do feel like that's a Vegas bucket list item.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time my family's coming to the Strip or coming to Las Vegas, they're asking like, what buffets are still open?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you just got to go to the Wynn or the Caesars, the expensive fancy ones.
And I think the Wynn would be the top pick at this point.
Yeah, that's just such a part of like Vegas like tradition is the buffets and everything. That's why it's crazy, Layla, that you are not a fan. I don't get it.
I think I've been to too many bad ones in Vegas.
Yeah,
They used to be
fair,
everywhere,
fair.
all at the locals casinos. Those ones really just ruined it for me.
Yeah, well, I've got a spot that's anything but a buffet, and I too am a lover of pulling people off the Strip, which is always a constant battle. Nobody ever wants to listen to me, but I still throw it at them regardless, and I'm sending them over to Sparrow and Wolf. That is my
Good pick.
spot off Strip. I love it. And they changed the menu over so much that each time you go, it's always different. I first went there when I first moved out here in 2019, and still to this day, Rob, you'll love this, had the best old fashioned I have had in Las Vegas.
There we go.
It was some sort of concoction with vanilla and almond and God knows what, but it was so good. Their dessert was insane. I have never been disappointed over there at Sparrow and Wolf.
They also have a really good selection of low intervention wines or natural wines, as I like to call them, which I'm a big fan of. And what's great about Sparrow and Wolf is they kind of do their own thing. Like their menu is kind of this global fusion that's all under the vision of chef and owner Brian Howard. And I think people will eat there, especially foodies, and go, you know what? I went to a really cool restaurant that was really different and really good. And you can't go wrong at that place. The wood-fired oven, they've got everything down there.
And in a great neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you get to see some Chinatown.
You can bop around all over.
Yeah, see Chinatown, and you will for sure have somewhere to go for dessert after.
Yes, you most definitely will. And don't pass up on the dessert though at Sparrow and Wolf. Off the top of my head, I forget what the name of the one was that we got, but it's like a sticky toffee bread pudding type of thing.
Those are always good.
Unreal.
Jesse, I think what you want to say is the old-fashioned was your dessert.
Yeah, that was also. I mean, I did have more than one. I won't lie.
Yeah. I feel like we got some pretty good food picks in here, but I will say I know I shaded Peppermill a bit. Peppermill is still worth the visit. I
Yes.
think maybe the Fireside Lounge section, though. If you want to skip the food section and go to the Fireside Lounge, you'll still get your iconic Peppermill visit in.
Layla's having Peppermill remorse. She didn't want to knock
I
them.
know. They're an iconic business. I can't knock them too much.
And you know what? The lounge is good, even if their drink menu is a little outdated.
Everything's a little outdated there.
You still get the vibes.
I think that's part of the allure, though. No,
Maybe.
is it?
And you know what? A bar that's by itself on the Strip without being part of a casino or a shopping mall, you know what? That gets a thumbs up.
Yeah, no, that's important. A lot of these places, I don't know if other restaurants could have had the staying power that Peppermill has.
All right, guys. So we've hit on Strip, we've hit the tourist trap, we've gone even Strip adjacent with some of our picks. Now let's go off the beaten path. Where are you sending people there? And Layla, to steal your word, where are the parachute journalists not going? Give us the real hidden gems in our city.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think probably parachute journalists have talked about this, but go antique shopping in Boulder City.
Ooh.
A lot of locals who I talk to haven't gone to Boulder City and just like shopped around. I was really surprised when I got to college. A lot of people didn't even know what was out there in Boulder City. Of course, you have some great hikes and you have access to the water out there, but definitely antique shopping, small town vibes, get your steps in a place where the businesses are smaller and closer together than maybe walking down the Strip and realizing that the hotels are farther than they seem.
And if you're driving from Vegas to Boulder City, do a little detour at Hemingway Park, where the bighorn sheep just like to come down from the foothills and hang around. If you tell somebody to go there, you're going to be on their nice list for a long time, because that's such a nice little treat. Don't feed the sheep. You can take photos, hang with them, but just kind of let them do their thing. And it's just one of those, I want to say only in Vegas, but only in Boulder City.
Only in Vegas adjacent.
And another little fun detour is if you go to the Boulder Dam Hotel, which I believe is the oldest hotel in Boulder City. They have a free Hoover Dam museum in the lobby that you can walk through.
Oh, they have. I forgot that's over there. I stumbled upon that one time. That's a really cool setup there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really make a whole day out of your visit to Boulder City. And there's some great restaurants out there. The Dillinger's out there. They have a really good barbecue scene randomly. So you can make a whole day and get off of the Strip, really see Boulder City, pass by some great Las Vegas neighborhoods in the suburbs, and really immerse yourself in the area and not just the Strip.
Yeah, and plus one for the Hoover Dam, which is just a monument to human achievement also. Like, it's like when you're at the museum, it's crazy that that thing exists and what they were doing at the time, and frankly, how many people died building it. It's a fascinating subject. So,
and it's only been around like 100 years or so.
Yeah,
I mean, it just kind of gives you some insight on how new Las Vegas is, at least as we know it, with Lake Mead as our water source.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that would be, the Hoover Dam isn't a tourist trap, but it's definitely worth a visit if you're recommending to your friends and family what to do.
The sheer size of it, when you're standing on top of that, it's one of those things that just hits you when you're up there. You're like, whoa. But I really do like the pick though, Layla, on the thrift shopping out there in Boulder City, because I recently did that. My girlfriend and I went out there to the train tunnel trails, and then afterwards we kind of started bopping around town, and it is very underrated. The thrift shopping there, and then they got some really awesome locations.
Jesse, don't bury the train tunnel trails, because I think that's a cool thing that you could recommend to somebody, and they don't even know that it's there.
You could turn it into an entire day out there in Boulder City, but the train tunnel trails honestly are one of my favorite things, and I even considered making that my off the beaten path deal, because I think it's so cool walking along Lake Mead there, where you see it. It just looks, even though it's real, it looks like a picture. It looks fake as you're walking along it. Like, I have even gotten like motion sickness walking along there because it doesn't seem real. It's so weird.
And I think what you're doing is you're passing through 3 tunnels where railroad tracks used to be, where they would take the supplies to Hoover Dam while it was under construction.
Yeah, and you get a little shade on that hike too, so you can still try to manage it in the summer. But I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend any hikes in the summer.
Yeah, although it is easy, parking's easy, and it's very accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jacob, you're up. Now we'll finish with Rob, because I'm sure he's got a very interesting pick here. Not that you don't, but let's go ahead and throw it to you. I want to hear your hidden gem.
Jesse, I like how you say that.
Yeah.
From the majesty of the Hoover Dam, I have something decidedly smaller. The Pinball Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard of the Pinball Hall of Fame, it is literally just a bunch of pinball machines. How exciting could that be, Jacob? You have no idea. It's basically just a warehouse with, I don't know, hundreds of pinball machines, but going back decades. So you can play the new hotshot stuff that they're going to charge you $4 a ball on, or you can just like find these ancient machines that still work, and just like, there's just something about pinball and how tactile it is. And I feel stupid as I'm saying it all out loud right now.
I think it's great.
But genuinely, I think if you just want like a cheap, good old time, like, they have like little change machines up front, spend $20 on some pinball. What a better way to spend an afternoon.
Definitely.
And they really are charging you like 25 cents. I mean, it's still a quarter or 2 quarters, whatever it is, to play them. And what I love about the Pinball Museum, or excuse me, the Pinball Hall of Fame,
That's
There
right.
you go.
is that it's really a tour through pop culture history.
That is true.
When you see like all these, whether it's movies or cartoon shows or characters that are tied to the images of these different machines. I think there's a Metallica pinball machine, things like that. There's Star Wars, Superman, comic books, all kinds of things. And if you talk to some of the people that service and repair these machines, they're full of great stories, and you can really feel the love they have for the craft of preserving these pieces of pop culture.
Yeah, and it's not just pinballs there. Last time I went, they had ski hockey. That was called. They have
skee
some
ball? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, some skee ball. They have some photo booths. I remember one of the last times I went, I was celebrating like a friendiversary. They have claw machines that you can get like really random trinkets from. So it's not just pinballs. It's kind of like all kind of the nostalgic games that you would see in an arcade.
And it's great for a friendiversary.
Exactly.
I like that. That's very sweet, Layla.
It's a do-it-all deal. You got to love it. All right, Rob, what do you got for us?
So kind of like what I want to do is you always want to give that kind of like cool insider tip. So I like to kind of tap into what my guest is all about.
Yeah.
If they like whiskey, I'll recommend Bar Ginza in the Arts District, which is a bar that specializes in Japanese whiskey.
So great.
They even import the ice from Japan and they carve it up on the spot while making your drink. If somebody likes coffee, I don't know if Emily Mack liked coffee, but she mentioned she was staying downtown. And I mentioned Public Us as a great coffee shop.
So good.
Because they do their own macadamia nut milk. They do kind of some clever, interesting drinks. And it's such a cool vibe there.
Their pastries, oh, good God, are off the charts.
It's a great food menu. And you get to get a little experience of what the Fremont East District is all about. It's even nice during the day. And also, if you're around during First Friday, go check out First Friday to see what the Arts District is all about. I feel like the Arts District is always best for a newcomer at night, or at least at dusk, so you can kind of give the vibes of what it's all about. But you know what? My ultimate cool, off-the-beaten trail pick is recommend a ghost town.
Oh, we got a lot of those.
Nevada has more ghost towns than real towns. That's like a real stat. We have more ghost towns than any other state in the union. And, you know, there's a few that are closer to Vegas. If someone happens to be driving north or heading towards Death Valley, stop outside Beatty at Rhyolite. It's the coolest ghost town in Nevada. There's some structures that have crumbled but are still in place, you know, like buildings. There's an old train station there. Just these ruins. It's very... you know, we talk about how Las Vegas likes to be the site for apocalyptic movies. This feels like scenery from an apocalyptic movie. I can't even say that word. I'm so excited about it. But if you go to Beatty, if you go to Death Valley, take a detour to the Rhyolite Ghost Town. It's so cool. And you can't take a bad photo there.
Yeah, I think the ghost towns are slept on for sure.
Definitely. And I wonder if, you know, Fallout Vegas, the most recent season of that show, made people more interested in what's out there in the desert past Las Vegas. Because even random story, of course, I'm going to find a way to bring BTS into this conversation.
Here we go. It was a matter of time.
But during their visit, they went out to the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs.
Yep.
I don't know if they were filming out there or they just knew it from the show and wanted to see the Fallout memorabilia that they have. But
Yeah, because it's featured in Fallout.
exactly. So I think maybe that show, there was a revival of interest in like what's out there in the desert in Las Vegas, what can survive.
And I believe Pioneer Saloon is the oldest bar in Southern Nevada. So you're getting some history. They do really good burgers.
Yeah.
And Jesse, there's plenty of whiskey there as well. So why
There
not
is.
make a detour there?
Solid barbecue, too.
Yes, especially with Prim no longer being around. If you could be in that part of the state, go to the Pioneer Saloon.
But
Yeah,
would
why
we
not check it out?
have recommended Prim to any tourists? I don't know.
If you're driving here, take a detour.
Maybe, yeah.
but-
Maybe if you're driving.
Yeah.
Well, if you need to fill up the tank. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're coming from California, that's where they stop first. We saved mine for last because this is one that I don't think will be for the faint of heart. I'll be completely honest. And Rob, to
All
your
right.
point earlier about, you know, catering to your guests. And essentially what I'm trying to say is I have a lot of friends who are very crunchy. They like to hike.
Wait,
So
what?
crunchy.
Crunchy. Is that a new
Yeah.
flavor of friend?
Like granola.
Exactly. Essentially, right? Yeah. So,
Mine are smooth.
See, very opposite friend groups for sure, but we can bond over the whiskey. And so if I've got friends coming to town, these are the people that are the psychos that will go have their fun on the strip, party, give themselves a day, and then they go for a hike. And my hike that I recommend, because I love to torture people, is to send them to Turtlehead Peak in Red Rock. It is by far the hardest one out there that I've done,
Yeah.
but it is totally worth it. Yeah, 4.6 miles out and back. You gain about 2,000 feet of elevation, but the views up there are insane. It's essentially like doing a stair climber, going up that much in elevation. But I think it's so worth it if you pack in some sandwiches, some snacks, and do a little picnic up top. The views of Red Rock and the valley as a whole, to me, are the best you can possibly find on any hike out here. That's why I always recommend it. But again, make sure you are ready for it. Bring plenty of water. All of that stuff, because it's not easy.
This feels full circle going back to my recommendation of the Legacy Club, which is on the top floor of
Also
Circa.
Different kind of view.
Here's your advice to your out-of-town friend. Whenever in doubt, go with a great view. You can't mess up a great view in Las Vegas, whether it's on the Strip or at Red Rock Canyon.
No, I agree 100%. There's no way to beat any of that. And we are a city that thrives off of great views. Our cityscape is undefeated. I love it. Hopefully now our listeners are fully prepared for when their friends and family come to town. Guys, thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Go Vegas.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our free morning newsletter too. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Until then, though, take care.